Valentine's. Both end of the book is here. So this is a friendly reminder that those I'm commenting the book as I'm reading as such. This is gonna have spoilers. If you don't like spoilers, I recommend you clicking away now. If you'd like to read the book first, there's options for you. It's on Amazon and it's up on the audiobook is up on YouTube. It's a pretty good audiobook. It has a pretty bomb narrator. It's a good audiobook. If you'd like review without spoilers, I liked it a lot. It's very action packed. I thought it did a nice job of keeping the story moving. It showed kids with diverse personalities, which is a plus. It like told a really good story. It is part of a series, therefore it's not self-contained. If you're looking for a self-contained book, that is not it. It ends with a hook for the next one, and it refers to stuff from the last one, so I recommend you read them fairly close together so you don't forget things. But yeah, it was a good book. I will leave you with reaction commentary, please, now. So, I started reading LYSSA'S Run, the second installment of The Sentient Wars by M.D. Cooper and James S. Aaron. It starts with a bang. It starts more or less where the other book left off, but we have a little more context, a little bit of text, small prologue in the beginning about this age of humanity. I don't know if they ever like the little bit of text in the beginning sounded historical, reminded me a little bit of the Encyclopedia Galactica bit in the Foundation trilogy. And it makes me wonder, as this is my introduction to the Iron Fortune universe, if we will have other stories that are in these ages where there's teletransportation and stuff and shields and AI is common and not illegal and there's a unified government in Seoul, like it talks about in the beginning. If all the stories of this universe are in this age around the 30th century. So it starts with a bang. It tells the story from the point of view of Carl. I forgot his last name, but Carl something. He's one of the villains. about the battle that happened last book against the big ship that was killing everybody. And it is a nice recount, like it serves as a refresher of what happened last book. If you don't remember. And then we see Brit. And we see Brit in a scenario that I thought was a flashback at some point. But we know it isn't a flashback because she says of the new name of the ship, Warrior's End. Sunny Skies got renamed to Warrior's End in the last book. So we know it's something recent. But she blew up the hospital of this corporation that makes experiments on kids and creates AI. Again, we heard last book that she had blown it up some years before. This time we get to see her blow up the facility. So it's been pretty action-packed. I listened to the first hour, and it's been pretty action-packed. We finally caught up with Kara. I learned her name is Kara looking at the writing. I thought it was Kira. We caught up with Kara and Ting is somewhere around the ship. And Kara is worried about the women around her dad. And they are nearing Mars and going to need to provide documentation. So I'm here. I'm gonna keep reading and we'll see what happens. This one is slightly longer than the last one. There's 11 hours in the audiobook. So let's see where it goes. So I've read a little more of Lissa's Run. It changes a lot of point of views. The piece I read had a bit of Brit's point of view. She's following something. We don't know what. Maybe it's the ship. And her husband and kids. She's searching for a ride. And we got a lot of flashbacks with Calcraft. I don't know what Calcraft do yet. Calcraft is a dude that appeared last book, but has been making an appearance more in this book, and he's security for the I think it's Heartbridge, the name of the corporation. I never remember what the name of the corporation is. The corporation that's after Andy and Lissa. I don't know what his deal is, but he's a lot more present in this book, so I assume he's important. And so in this bit, Ting is throwing a lot more tantrums. He's behaving a lot more like a little kid. I think the stress of everything that happened with his mom leaving and the things that happened in the last book, being the firefight, must have affected him. And that's why he's acting a lot more childish in this book. He saw a puppy and he wanted a puppy, and the book traced to a halt when they got to the puppy to make some ominous foreshadowing that this was a mistake. I still don't know. I haven't got there. I don't know how it was a mistake. Maybe Petrel said something about they having been made. So maybe the corporation that's following them can follow the data and find Andy because he bought a dog. And yeah, Lisa has also made contact with an AI in the Mars ring. So Fred is a different AI from Lisa. He is more like a ChatGPT AI. He started from artificial means. And Lisa is definitely sentient. We know that because she started from a human seed. She started from a little child and was transformed into this AI. So she's definitely sentient. But Fred is up in the air so far. He doesn't like humans much. He is a bit moody. He's in his teenage years, I would say. Fred is a funny one. And he is pretty content with his task. He doesn't need extra incentives. His task is to control the Mars ring. Yeah, so I think we're gonna have Fred is gonna make a comeback in this book. Like he's gonna be more present. Book. And we are going to have some notion of what constitutes a sentient AI. Because so far it's not clear. I think Fred started from a completely artificial origin, like someone putting together out of programming code. And Lisa started from an organic being. So, can AI be sentient if they don't start from organic origins? Yeah. So I'll read more and I'll come back to talk with you all. Okay, listening. And not only did buying the dog create a profile that allows Heartbridge Corporation to follow them, throughout the station, but the dog is also bugged. It's a scan dog. It's full of tech that is meant to hack their their ship, and that's why nobody wanted a dog. Ah, why there was a little corgi? Oh, I can't believe this. So I am about 40% of the way on the LYSSA'S Run book. And just like in the last book, just like in LYSSA'S Ring, things are hitting the fan. Everything is happening. It's around the midway point. Everything is happening. So um, Andy is trapped, trying to get back to his ship with Ting and the little dog they adopted. He's running from the security, and he he has to go outside of the ring, outside of the place they are at, into space, like into the vacuum, and they don't have a suit that works. They have one suit that works, and then they gives it to his son and the dog, and picks the suit that doesn't work, that leaks oxygen. And he doesn't manage to do what he needs to do. They have this little drone called Alice, and he needs to tether himself and Tim to Alice. And he is suffocating. He doesn't manage to do what he needs to do. So they are dangling in the middle of the space, threatening to fall into the void. And Alice is trying to get them. And Issa starts to control Alice through the link. So Alice has finer motion control. And Andy doesn't manage to hook themselves to Alex, and he passes out for lack of oxygen. So Andy is asphyxiating, and Tim is not an enough mature kid to actually tether than do the task, actually tether than to Alice. Fran, that is the lady from the last book. They pick up the mechanic that is with them. Is trying to convince Tim to hook his father to Alice, and Tim is not responding. He is completely not in the presence of mind to do it. And things are dire, and at the point in that, Lisa is going to have to start making maneuvers so the security of the ring just show up. They're shooting, and Lisa is going to have to start to make maneuvers with the drone that will probably hurt Chin and Andy. Meanwhile, Kara is with the other lady, Petrel, that's traveling with them, and they are being searched. They are search criminals. They are being hunted to the ring. So they got to leave the ring, and Kara and Petrel like pick up a gun and threaten some people for a ship. So Kara is stealing a ship from the ring. So in this, so we got Kara stealing a ship, her father and Tim in this dire situation where her father is suffocating, and Fran, I think that's what her name is. I don't know how to write it, so I don't know how to say it. Is having trouble with security. They want her to dock into the ring and have the ship searched. And she's trying to stall, but things are gonna get ugly very soon. And I thought I would record this moment where it's all up in the air and I don't know what's going on. I don't think Andrew will die. I don't think it's this kind of book. We get 5 books in this part of the series. I gathered there's more books, but we got 5 books at this part. And I don't think Andy is dying. So I think everything will work out, but I'm in suspense right now. So I'm gonna keep listening. I'll get back to you. Okay, spoilers. Andy didn't die. I don't think he was oxygen deprived for a few moments there, but I don't think he's even brain damaged as a plot armor. So Wendy is fine. Petrel turned herself in for the Mars police. I didn't understand why, but she did. Maybe to get the Mars protected of worries and back. Worries and back. So they are thinking about going to Ceres, but the person who did go to Ceres was Brit, and she found the woman Petra wanted them to find. It's a lady called Puja Wong, and the lady is organizing an AI revolt. It's going to have a war or something, and the lady is organizing some sort of AI revolt. I'm gonna keep reading, let's see. But yeah, I think the AI are going to make a move in the next books, since the name of the thing is Sentient War. So I thought maybe the wars were going to be between sectors of humanity, but yeah, the AI are up in arms. So let's see where they go with that. I've been listening to this book. The book doesn't let up. Like, a lot of stuff happened in the last um piece. So um Petrel gets arrested and she meets with uh Carl, our evil dude of this book, and he beats her up for information which she doesn't give, and then he implants an AI on her without her consent. And he talks to the AI, and it's the little boy they found on that facility that traumatized both Brit and Andy. A221. They were after the children of this lady, and the people at the facility sent a finger as proof they had it, and they went after them and found a lot of children being used in experiments for AI. And this little boy gets turned into an AI, but he's an AI that has a sense of identity and still believes he's a little boy. And he makes a reappearance. He's the AI that gets implanted into Petrel. We haven't seen Petrel reaction yet. She was unconscious when we last saw her. And Brit makes it to series, and she finds the woman Petrel tells them to find, Fuji Wong, and they have this operation that wants to smuggle off series. So Fuji Wong eventually makes contact with Andy, and she wants to smuggle off series 3 sentient AIs. So I'm excited because Lisa is going to have company. Yay! Lisa is going to have other people like her. And they are not going to be Fred. They are not going to be human hating Fred with any luck. So, human hating, controlling Fred. Fred is like very tantruming, very controlling, very toxic. So let's see if Lisa has more luck with these AIs. I read a little more of Lisa's Run, and I almost at the end. I listened to a little more. I listened actually to a little more of Lisa's Run, and I almost at the end. There's 1 hour to the end, and things are happening. Things are happening, people. Brit invaded like the laboratory 46, clinic 46, I think it's called. And she found out there are no kids there, but there are a bunch of AIs. And she ran away with Kyron, the little boy, in Fran's body. Petrel's body. And she is running from the people of Heartbridge, and things are happening and stuff. She needs help. She finds a ship, she asks for help. It's the war's end. So now the people are getting reunited. They haven't seen Patrol yet, but this is gonna be very interesting because we're gonna get in the same room Brit, Patrol with the AI implanted on her, Andy and his kids, and Fran. So it's going to be a very interesting scene. I can't wait for it. But first, we have a battle. So the warriors ended up passing too close to the clinic, and they are under attack. And the Craft is picking the ship Fritz came in. He is like getting control of the ship and going after Brit and Angie. And things are looking dire, like he doesn't care about the ship, so he's throwing the whole ship at them. So yeah, Angie now has to deal with an inbound ship that is a missile. And Paulcraft's crew is struggling following his orders because he is too bloodthirsty. He would have killed the crew in the ship. I forgot the name of the ship. It's the Mortal something. And the crew is having trouble following his orders because they don't want to kill all those people. So we are in the middle of some trouble. I want to see how it will turn out. I'll read a little more and come back to listen to a little more actually. There's 1 hour to go in the audiobook, so I might finish it tonight. And then I'll come back to you guys to talk. I think they're gonna let the fact that the dog is bugged for the next book. Like the dog has a tracker in his spine. And it isn't for Heartbridge, or else they would be using it. At least I don't think it is for Heartbridge, or else they would intercept the Warriors End midway. So yeah, I think that plot point will stay for the next book. So I having trouble recording this part because too many thoughts. I end up rambling. But it's 4:30 a.m. and I finished reading LYSSA'S Run. I just finished reading LYSSA'S Run, and now I'm trying to talk about it. So it ended up in a cliffhanger. Shin got tossed out of a padlock, which, depending on how you felt about seeing this book, was a yay or a nay for you. like Tim got tossed out of an airlock, and when he did get rescued, after a few tense minutes where we thought he was going to die, when he did get rescued, who rescued him was the enemy. And okay, parentheses about Tim. I don't have anything against Tim. I read the comments on the audiobook. I'm listening to the audiobook as it is on YouTube. The LYSSA'S RUN audiobook on YouTube, and as such, there's comments on the bottom of it. And I read the comments, and people really, in general, did not like Tim much in this book. So I guess a lot of them were happy Tim got tossed out of an airlock. Which is kind of brutal and kind of funny. I don't have anything against him. He's written as a little immature kid for his age. He also reads like he might have ADHD or autism. And he is not a very, very aware kid, very he's not very proactive kid to their situation and stuff. And for me that is fine. There are types of adults and types of kids. There are several types of as there are types of people under the sun. There's like people are different. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with him being the way he is. He doesn't annoy me at all. So I was pretty distressed to see him out of an airlock. And I don't want to see him experimented on and turned into a weapon born like Iron. So I'm rooting here for them to grab thing. I'm excited for the next book. I want to read it and find out, to listen to it and find out. Yeah, there's also a little bit of a love triangle going on. Like Brit, the impression I have is that Brit thought that life would stop, that she would go into this mission to save the kids, and life would stop and she would be able to pick it up later. But there's a bit of a love triangle between Fran, Brit, and Andy. Brit seems a little jealous. And the fact is that she went on her little mission to save the kids and life move on for her family. Angie and the kids moved on. They didn't quite get her needs to go and save the kids. Stuff dealing with parental abandonment and stuff dealing with what to tell your kids when one of the parents walk away. Yes, adults have their own stuff to work through, but kids don't wait. They grow and they keep changing. So it's a very interesting plot point. Overall, I'm surprised at how much I enjoy in this book. Because it's a military science fiction, and I didn't think I would enjoy a military science fiction this much. I don't read military science fiction very often, Um, and I didn't think I was going to enjoy being tossed into a war. But this book series is pretty good. I enjoy it. As always, I don't feel comfortable giving rating. It makes me realize, like, reading this series makes me realize how little out of my bubble I've done reading. Like, I only read mainstream books. I've been hoarding these indie books, but I barely cracked them open. And it's a very different feel reading those from reading mainstream books. And I don't feel comfortable rating them because you never know with indie books if what's the resources. Um, Indie books, small publisher books, what the resources were for the books. Like, did the author have a little team of a few people and a decent budget, or were they doing this out of their bedroom and um, with a shoestring budget? And I don't feel it's fair comparing the indie books I'm reading. What I will say is I liked it. It made me pick up the next one. Um, I thought it was a well-written book. It didn't have many continuity errors. Stuff was a well-edited book. So yeah, I'll keep reading this series. Let's see where it goes. I enjoyed knowing Andy and his family and Lisa and their adventures. I enjoyed also the variety of the AI in this book. I love stories about AI. And yeah, I'll keep reading it. See you guys in the next book. Bye bye, my darlings.